How in the world are you doing? I had a great conversation with a client of mine today, one of my coaching clients, and we were talking about lead generation and getting attention. And I said, well, I told this client that I was going to do a live stream and talk about this tonight. So I want to give you guys a few tips on some of the reasons that people don't make it. What's up, Jay? Dude, this is Leonardo DiCaprio's Malibu beach home. He let me use it. The waves, it's weird. It doesn't look like they're moving. That's just an optical illusion. What's happening, Mark? Victoria, what's going on? Jim Weaver. So I want to talk to you about why people fail with live streaming. Weldon Whitehurst, my brother, how you doing? Look, it's real simple. I have a course, as there's some people on here. Linda, this is Leonardo's house, his Malibu beach home. He's letting me use it for a few days. Thank you. But I mean, it's his, not mine, so I can't take credit. And God created that beautiful ocean out there, so I can't take credit for that either. Joe, you weren't supposed to tell anyone. Jeez. So look, the reason that people don't make it with live streaming, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, I see people doing live streams where they're moving the phone all over the place, and you can't do that, man. It's distracting. People hate that. I hate watching live streams. You know, you do, where the phone is moving. It's not stable. It's just no fun. That's not the three. That's not one of the three. That's not one of the three that I'm going to talk about. You are so connected. That's funny. So I do want to talk about, like, first off, listen, the number one way to get attention on social media is live streaming. That's the number one way. Yes, you could go spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and run Facebook ads and all of that and get your name, known, branding, whatever. But live streaming, because of the Facebook algorithm, live streams get more eyeballs viewing them than any other kind of post. So it's kind of important to learn how to do it and do it right. That's why I created the course that I have, is to teach people how to do this. What will you take credit for? What will I take credit for? Well, I'll take credit for things I've accomplished for sure. So I have notes here, and I'm gonna move my notes up here. Number one, you have to always be a student. I'm always researching better ways to make live streams better, to make social media better. I'm always researching. I'll buy apps that they don't work, and I get rid of them, right? And I move on from it. You always have to be a student. Always learn how to become better, no matter what, whether it's live streaming or whatever it is, right? Number two, and I see this far too often. We all do. It's always a good idea. Did you ever see the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? Drop a 1 in the comments if you saw the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Drop a 1. Just drop a quick 1 in there. I'm curious. There is this scene where Steve Martin and John Candy are going at it, and they're arguing, and Steve Martin is like going off. He said, I have a Casio. Steve Martin goes off on John Candy and he says, you know what, Del Griffith, the shower curtain ring salesman, you know what would make these stories of yours a whole lot more interesting for the listener? Have a point. Have a point. And that's literally number 2 on my list. Have a point. Man, have a point. Definitely do live streams. But yeah, my hands are warm between these 2 pillows. Those aren't pillows. Look, you have to have a point. If you're going to do live streaming, and you should do live streaming, number 1, definitely get a professional setup if you can. Like, have a decent setup so people are attracted. So when they're scrolling through Facebook and they go, oh my gosh, is that Ken sitting in Leonardo DiCaprio's Malibu beach home right now? They stop the scroll. And they click on my thing and they come in here and they're like, what's this dude talking about? Because I've seen it pop up. So many people have already shared this out, right? I have 5,000 friends, the people on my business page. But here's the thing. You guys that shared this out, first off, thank you. I really genuinely appreciate that. But second, that means that all of your friends are going to be introduced to me. They're scrolling through Facebook. The average user scrolls 300 yards a day with their thumb. So there's a good chance that they'll scroll around and they'll click on it and they'll go, oh, who's this dude? And what's he talking about? Right. So number 1, always be a student. Always. I'm always a student of life, of everything I'm doing. I am Weldon, it'll buff out. That is so funny when they're going between the 2 semis and he looks over and John Candy's the devil. Oh my gosh, what a funny movie. Anyway, so you know, I am a self-proclaimed, I've had other people say it, so it's not just me proclaiming it, but I've done over 2,000 live streams. I've learned a thing or 2 along this journey. And so I would say that I am a live streaming expert. And what I'm going to say to you is this, like, number one, always be a student. Always be a student. And I mean that. Always look for ways. I'm constantly, and I was talking to a guy, Mark Rodriguez, who's a student in my course right now. He was asking me questions. He said to me yesterday, and I said, you know what? I'm going to record another video on that exact topic and put it in the training platform and just add it, right? So I'm always looking at ways to improve that. And he actually thanked me today for that. He's like, normally the training courses are just, once they're done, and you're adding to it. I'm like, I want it to be the best freaking training platform and experience in the world for anyone that takes it. So number 1, be a student. Number 2, have a point. You have to have a point. Don't get on and just ramble randomly about things unless you're somebody that's famous like Bob Donnell is. Like, that dude, like, he doesn't have to have a point. Bob can go live with no point and everybody will love Bob for that. But if you're not Bob Donnell and you're not Sharon Lecter and you're not Grant Cardone and you're not some of these people that have done this and they have this celebrity about them, like, dude, you got to have a point. Make sure you have a point. And don't let this stop you either. I have too many people say to me, man, I just don't know what to talk about. What if you and I were sitting down and having a cup of coffee? Would you just stare at me? Because that would be weird. That would be incredibly weird. Would you just stare at me? Like, what do you do for a living? What do you do? Bob hates that question. But I'm not asking you like we're sitting down meeting for the first time. I'm saying, how do you make money in life? Bob said, wait, I think I make a point. Bob, you're freaking awesome, dude. You always make a point. Bob always makes a point. Now, I love the way you ended your video earlier today. You said, I'm going to go into this networking meeting and see how many times I get asked, what do you do? Because he hates that. In a networking or meeting somebody, never say, what do you do? More like, who are you as a person? Who are you? Like, what you do doesn't matter. How about that? How about going on a live stream and saying, hey, I wanted to come on here and talk about my hobby of basket weaving or cooking or whatever it is, and take us to your kitchen and show us how you cook up some good grub or something, right? Like seriously. So number one, I would stare at you trying to figure out if you're the real Ken Walls. That's funny. So like number one, be a student. Number two, make sure that you have a point. You've got to have a point, man. If you do not have a point, people will not stay on your live stream. They will never come back to your live stream. And then you're done. Like you're done. Eventually you run out of people. Since there was only 9 people and I was one, there was only 8 potential. Oh, that's so funny. How many people ask you what do you do? Hey Bob, what do you do? I literally, the way you ended that, I was like, oh my God, I feel sorry for the first person that says that to Bob. So, and Joe likes to cook in the baskets that he weaves. So there you go. So Joe, you could actually do a live stream and you could say, look, I'm going to show you guys how I weave baskets. And you could weave a basket on a live stream, show people. Like, is it going to interest Bob Donnell? No, probably not. Is it going to interest me? No, I'm not. Well, you're Joe, you're my buddy, so I might watch you weave your basket for about 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. The average time span that you have to have somebody on your live stream is only 3 minutes. It's only 3 minutes. So like, think about that. You've got to first get to a point, man. Don't ever, by the way, this is the number one offense. You ready for this? Number one offense. Who wants to know what the number one offense is? Who can guess what the number one offense is? Who can guess? Go ahead, drop a 1 in there if you want to hear it. And if you know what it is, drop it in there. So I can go live and show how I take all of Ken's money in his beach house behind him. So I didn't tell you what I wear when I'm cooking. Well, then it may not be appropriate to live stream that, Joe. Nobody wants to see you in your skivvies. So look, there is a number one offense that people make in a live stream, and this is it. This is starting up your live stream and having Joe Ingram join. That's way up there, but that's not number one. Number one offense is starting a live stream and going, okay, hey, just let's wait for a few people to get in here, and then we'll get started. Like, what, dude? Are you kidding me? You're not really that arrogant, are you? Like, do not ever say that on a live stream. Don't ever say that. Brian Schneider's in the house. What's up, brother? So look, 3 minutes, I don't think. Yeah, but see, like a minute ago, we had 31 people on the stream, and now we're down to like 18 or whatever. On Facebook, it says 10. On with all the platforms, it's like 20, 21 right now. So do not wait for the audience, because most of your views from a live stream are replays. Most of your views are the replay views. They're not actually during the live stream. Don't ever start a live stream video and say, well, I'm just going to, hey, Joe and Jim and Robert and Brian and Weldon and Craig, thank you guys for being in here. Why don't you just sit there and stare at me while we wait on people to get in here, and then we're going to get started. That's arrogant. That is completely arrogant. And I'm sorry, but it's not like you will lose people. They will not come back. I won't. I know a couple of people that do that. I will not even go to their live streams. I turned off notifications. I don't want to know when they go live. Don't want to know. Why? Because I know I'm going to spend the first 3 minutes for them waiting to start their live stream. Like, what? Come on, dude. Lights, camera, action. That's right, James Bodwin. Or as my Siri likes to call James Bodwin when I say, hey, when I say, she's going to do it. When I say his name and I say, hey, blank, Siri, call James Bodwin. She's like, okay, calling James Bodwin. And she says it with like this cool French accent. I'm like, wow. So look, Bodine. So never to, and then let me back up. Number one, always be a student. Always be a student. Always learn how to do live streaming. Do it better. Learn how to do it better and get and constantly learn how to do better, no matter what it is. Be a student of life. But if you're going to live stream, which you should, if you're in sales or if you're in a business in any way, you should be live streaming and learning how to do this. Number two, always 100% of the time, have a point. Have a point, man. I'm telling you. Don't just get on and start randomly hoping that people are going to find your looks interesting and your babble interesting. Maybe some people will, but not many. And number three, the most important, this is the biggest tip right here. Seriously. Number three on the list is be consistent. Be consistent. I have clients that say, well, I haven't done one in a week because, it's just, I just didn't know what to talk about. Dude, what? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Well, what do I talk about? I don't know. Like, what business are you in? What are your hobbies? What are, things that maybe you talk about something going on in the world. Maybe you talk about some virus and you make the pandemic worse. Or I'm just kidding. Like, there's all kinds of things that you can talk about. Talk about your business. Talk about what you do. Get into a conversation. Ask Greg Grayson why he would buy Jenny Q's live streaming book and not buy your course, the growlive.online course. Ask Greg that while he's on there. So be consistent. Be consistent in your live streaming. And don't give up, man. Like, don't give up. You're going to seriously, you're going to make mistakes doing live streams. It's just that simple. It's that simple. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to make errors. What is up, Brian Hess? Dude, I'm at Leonardo DiCaprio's Malibu beach home. He let me use it for a couple of days. I know it doesn't look like the water's moving out there. It is. That's an optical illusion. I don't think my camera frame rate is keeping up or something. I don't know. I'm just kidding. So yeah, I found this picture and it said Leonardo DiCaprio's beach home. And I'm like, perfect. So, look, number one, always be a student. Always learn how to do better. Number two, make sure you have a point. Haters would say it's photoshopped. Right, I know. What's up, Greg Walker? Number two, have a point. Like, seriously, don't just get on a live stream and ramble about nothing. Serious. Have a point. Make sure you have something that you're delivering. And number three, be consistent. Be consistent. Like, seriously, don't be bipolar about it, but be consistent. And when I say bipolar, I mean, like, don't go live 30 times a day for 4 days and then stop completely. Like, if you're going to do 30 a day, at least be consistent and do 30 every day. Be consistent. Now you're going to get unfriended. You're going to get blocked. You're going to get people that are going to talk about you, blah, blah, blah. So what? If you were 8 years old playing on a playground, or 9 years old like my daughter is, and you were outside playing on the playground, guess what? 100% of the kids are not going to like you. Not 100% are going to want to play with you. In fact, there's going to be some of them that try to cause problems for you, and they're going to talk about you behind your back and blah, blah, wah, wah, wah. Guess what? As an adult, it's not a whole lot different. We're just running around on different playgrounds. That's all. So there you go. That is all I wanted to talk about. Don't ever start a live stream and say this is the number one offense. If you guys don't remember, or you weren't here, don't ever start a live stream and say, "Yep, hey, gonna wait for a couple minutes here while some people pop on," and then sit there and like, what? That'd be like going, "Hey, dude, let's go grab some Starbucks," and we sit down, or we're trying to talk. I'm trying to talk to you in line, and you're like, "Hey, hold on, wait till we get our coffee." We don't want to talk until we get our coffee and we sit down. Like, what, dude? No, that's not the way it works. All right, that's it. Go check out my course, growlive.online. And if you use James Baudouin, if you use the coupon code growlive.online and you use the coupon code, what was that coupon code I made for David? My 3 minutes is up. The coupon code is DOIT. Use that code, those 4 letters together, and you'll get $150 off the course. And it's a really solid and good course. I get feedback every single day. So I'm waiting for you to finish so I can wait to pop into someone else's live stream. Oh man, Joe, Joe, you just hurt my feeling. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all jumping on here for real. Hey, dude, thank you, James. James, you get to stay up on the screen now. I'm going to exit this live stream with James' comment up on the screen, because that's exactly it. growlive.online. Use the coupon code "do it" at checkout. And hey, Joe, I'll make up a coupon that says "I love Joe." I mean, I'm going to have to charge double with that coupon, but anyway, hey, I appreciate you guys, and seriously, and I love the banter. I know Joe and I are like, well, Frank Crenitti's really my best friend. Joe's ranked in there. He's nudging into maybe second place or somewhere third. Just kidding. Love you, Joe. Love you guys. Appreciate all of you. Have a great night, and we will see you later. And remember, have a point. Have a point. Look at that. When I raise my hand, my face color isn't as red. When I look, see that? I got to work on the lighting, man. All right. Have a good night. See you guys.